Coach B said that he asked people to report back to the coaches whether they thought, honestly, if Spike was a walk-on type guy or a scholarship type guy. Do you remember those reports filtering back in when he was coming in?
There was a split vote. I had one big guy, Jordan Morgan, who wasn't so convinced. Then I had another guy in John Horford that was just sold. He said that guy could flat out hoop. And so John Horford is probably the best talent evaluator who never coached.
You got some older guys like Spike, who you referenced the milk and honey. They saw it, and the NCAA level, their young years, and then that went away for a year. Can you talk about the hunger of this team, especially for the veterans?
There's a sense of urgency that's very clear in guys like Spike Albrecht and Karis LeVert in particular, because here are guys that are remnants of the height of our success in the John Beilein era, and what we're seeing happen is the leadership that they're bringing in the little things. How frequent are guys getting to the gym on their own? How often are guys doing all of the extra work in the weight room? What are you doing in terms of eating, sleeping, hydration? Things that you would think coaching staffs would manage that they're doing instinctively because their desire to win is at a high level.
What have you seen on Moe Wagner in just these first couple weeks here?
A very versatile player who definitely needs to add strength to make a greater impact as we get into the weeks and months of the season. He's a kid that we're evaluating to determine what position he'll settle into in year one. I think Moe Wagner is also a guy that's an energy giver. He brings so much exuberance and energy to the table. He's a teammate that our players just enjoy seeing coming versus seeing going.
And how much different is DJ now from where he was a year ago?
My goodness, physically 30 pounds stronger, more athletic, having the ability to be more of a contact seeker versus contact avoider are things that we've really enjoyed thus far. One of the things that DJ has always brought to the table is a versatility with his ability to pass and make others better, be able to stretch defenses with his shooting range to three, and his quickness and agility to guard multiple positions. So we can get into switching patterns and creative things on the defensive end with a guy like DJ Wilson.
How pleased are you with some of that creative stuff that it seems that you're able to do? I mean, you go big, go small, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of drop-off with any of that.
You know, for Coach Beilein and our team, it's one of those embarrassment of riches type scenario where all of the players on our roster, we have a vision of them being able to play multi-positions. Even some of our front court guys, DJ Wilson can play a 4 or 5. Zach Irvin, we learned, could play a 4, a 3, a 2. Karis LeVert can play the 1, the 2, the 3. And it gives us this versatility that allows us to morph regardless of who the competition is.
How does that make you guys more dangerous coming into this year?
I think more than anything, it makes us unpredictable. And that unpredictability sometimes can create competitive advantages.
Talk about the development of Ricky Doyle just from his freshman year coming into his sophomore year.
I'm sorry, say again?
Can you talk about the development of Ricky Doyle just from his freshman year coming into his sophomore year?
Yeah, really excited the fact that Ricky Doyle now stands at 6'10", 250 pounds. And the thing that I'm enjoying most is when you get into the second year, the game starts to slow down a touch for you. There's review aspects to some of the concepts that we're teaching. So now it gets them a little bit more into an instinctual level. And it's almost to the point where when you get into the second year, you're trying to decipher which areas of the game will he get to a level of mastery on. And so that's the challenge right now. The accountability has been ratcheted up quite a bit for him. So he has to make sure that he's not putting pieces back in the box if he were to put together a puzzle. He's just continuing to build the puzzle, which is our, idea on how we develop players.
And just from a raw emotion standpoint, he brings that energy on the court. How beneficial is that to have that guy, sort of guys look to as sort of that spark, so to speak, when he is out there playing?
It's of a huge benefit. We think guys that are veterans like Ricky Doyle, Mark Denal, and others at those positions have to bring that type of mindset, do that yeoman's style work each and every day, because what it does, it energizes not only the team, but it also allows us to establish an identity of toughness, and grit that's very important And that was laid down by guys before them, like Jordan Morgan, Mitch McGary, and others.